prioritize the protection of water quality, where other paper sources will release their hazardous chemicals into bodies of water. FSC will prohibit the use of hazardous chemicals altogether. You can find the FSC certification label on many other things besides copy paper. Everyday items include notebooks, tissue boxes, books, milk cartons, napkins, envelopes, and you can enjoy our whole variation of FSC certified products on the table in the lobby.
So, like Lucia said, based on our research, FSC paper was the best. FSC was the best certification we could get here at Terra Linda. However, there are many other options out there, such as SFI or Sustainable Forestry Initiative. However, based on our research, we found that this was a hoax because they would use harmful chemicals in clear-cut forestry, which Charlotte will get into.
So in order to make any paper out of a tree, trees do need to be cut down. But the environmental impacts of doing this can be either super damaging or pretty gentle, depending on the method in which these trees are cut down. The first and probably most disastrous method of deforestation is clear cutting, and here are some images of forests that have been clear cut. Clear cutting is when all of the trees in an area are cut down completely, and the harmful environmental impacts of clear cutting are numerous. There are erosion, the degradation of water quality, changes in local weather patterns, loss of habitat, destruction of biodiversity, and climate change. Even age replanting is another forest management strategy that is better than clear cutting, but not by much. Even age replanting is when all of the trees in an area are clear cut, and then the forest is replanted at one time with one single species of tree. This means the forest is replanted, but it still loses all of the habitat and biodiversity that it would have originally. And here's a photo of a forest that has been replanted using even age management. Here is a picture of a biodiverse forest. The FSC paper certification ensures that paper that comes from forests that are certified with FSC maintain the forest's biodiversity. FSC does this by making sure that companies cut down only a few of the trees, leaving the majority, and that they replant every tree that they cut down. It's also notable that FSC makes sure that there aren't any disastrous social impacts on any people living in or around the forest due to the destruction of some of the trees. For this reason, we concluded that FSC paper was the best paper to use at TL.
At the beginning of our project, we had two main goals. Our first goal was to get FSC paper implemented at Terra Linda, and our second one was to create a paper-saving campaign that students and staff could use in order to reduce their paper consumption. In order to complete this, we had to do some background research. So we found out that TL pays about $15,000 a year on their paper, which is about 2,600,000 pieces of non-FSC certified paper a year. This could be equivalent to about 6.5 acres or 312 trees at Samuel P. Taylor Park.
Equipped with our research, we were ready to contact our paper vendor, Office Depot. Office Depot sells FSC paper for $6 more per case compared to the paper that we're currently using. We called them to negotiate the price down, but unfortunately, Office Depot couldn't offer us a lower price for FSC paper because TL was already in a district-wide paper contract. Luckily, our community partner introduced us to a contact at Spicer's Paper, who is offering FSC paper at only $2 more per case. With a new business partner, we set up a meeting with TL administration to tell them of our idea of switching paper vendors. Our idea was warmly received, and they directed us to the business office. We emailed the business office, and they replied saying they would set up a meeting with TL to discuss implementing FSC paper. Now we're waiting for the final confirmation.
One of the main goals of our project was to reduce paper usage through awareness and education. We created an information campaign in order to reduce Terra Linda's paper usage through greater awareness. To begin our campaign, we surveyed Terra Linda's teachers about their paper experience here at TL and to get a baseline knowledge of their understanding of paper usage. To educate the student population, we distributed informational posters that suggested paper-saving strategies that could be applied at school. We had three main designs. One drew the connection between paper usage and habitat loss. Another reminded students and teachers to print on both sides of the page. The third promoted scratch paper, where students can repurpose old work for notes and practice problems. To enable the use of scratch paper, we promoted the scratch paper bin in the library, where students can drop off and pick up paper. Up on the screen are two of the informational posters that we distributed around campus. We linked the designs with a common theme. We put the tiger image there to establish paper's connection to the natural world, and also to establish a presence for our project at Terra Linda. It worked. As soon as we started putting up the posters, students and teachers alike began to recognize our poster and connect with our message, internalizing the paper saving strategies.
Through our campaign, approximately 1,300 students and staff were exposed every day to 47 posters hung all throughout the school. This leads me to our accomplishments. First, we established a campaign at Terra Linda by educating students and staff about reducing paper usage and using more scrap paper. Additionally, we updated a website which can be found at www.treelovers.com. There, we posted updates about our project and facts about sustainable forestry for our audience to read. Last but certainly not least, we're in the process of implementing FSC paper at Terra Linda. Once we receive final confirmation, TL would be saving 6.5 acres of biodiverse forest every single year, just by using FSC paper. On the other end of the spectrum, we also help TL reduce paper usage. We did this through maintaining a scrap paper station in the library where students could pick up and drop off scrap paper. Also, we educated teachers one-on-one about their own paper usage in their classrooms. After educating them, many teachers even implemented their own scrap paper station in their classrooms. Overall, we were able to educate 26 teachers at Terra Linda. As we promoted using less paper, we decided to follow what we were preaching. We submitted all of our assignments online. By doing so, we saved 144 pieces of paper.
On our path to success, we encountered some difficulties. One of the greatest difficulties we encountered was convincing Terra Linda's administration to switch paper vendors from Office Depot to Spicer's Paper. In order to solve this problem, we worked closely with the administration in order to ease the transition. Another problem we encountered was the response times of some of our business partners. To account for differing schedules, we sent consistent electronic status updates to tell them what we were working on and to check in on their situation. Finally, pertinent information was difficult to attain. While the information existed, retrieving it from the appropriate sources proved difficult. To solve this, we persevered through and asked the necessary questions of the right people to extract the information. Though we encountered some issues, we responded with solutions.
We've completed a lot during this project, however, there's always room for expansion. In the future, we would like to continue our paper saving campaign. This would include putting up more posters and updating our website. And also, we would like to keep in contact with our business partners and the administration in order to get FSC paper implemented here at Terra Linda and eventually district-wide.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's gonna get better, it's not. Thank you to all the people that made this project possible. Deanne Clough, Mirto Ash, Heather Ayub, Katie Dunlap, Rob Sally, Lynn Tremolata, Donna Romberger, Doug Marquand, David Tao, Ray McClintock, Joanna Sanders, and Cyan Dandridge.
And thank you so much for listening to our presentation today. Next, we will be answering, to the best of our ability, any questions that you have for us, and then we will show you our creative presentation. But first, we'd love to leave you with a final thought. This is the QR code to our website, www.treelovers.com, if you'd like to check it out. And this is what the FSC paper certification logo looks like. We would love you to take a photo of this logo for future reference. That way you can support more sustainable forests by purchasing products that feature the FSC logo. And now we will be answering any questions.
So, oh, sorry. Which one would you like to go first? Okay.
How many cut down the tree? How many?
So the difference between FSC paper and normal paper is that the same number of trees are cut down, but they're cut down in a different way. So it's clear cutting or biodiversity, where they cut down just a few and replant afterwards.
So I also have a question about FSC. You mentioned that it seemed to be the best or most beneficial for the purposes of your project, but are there better systems out there? Are there other organizations who are improving on FSC's model and finding better ways to harvest forests, or is that the best that we have right now?
So Isabella actually researched all the different certifications for paper. So based on her research, FSC is the best we have right now that's widely available for us to use as a school.
Would you say going electronic and completely paperless is the overall best solution?
If we were trying to save paper, it would be the best solution. But we received some pushback from some of the teachers about electronic submission of assignments. So I think it'll be in the future working with the teachers and showing them how good digital assignments can be and improving the software to make them as good as the teachers want them to be if we're going to switch to completely digital assignments.
Why and how to choose the 26 teachers to train?
We went around schools. We went around the school with our posters and asked if we could hang them up in their classroom, and we educated them on FSC, so what we talked about in the presentation, and told them why FSC is better than regular paper. So it was the reason we picked the 26 teachers was whoever was willing to listen to us.
Which is more expensive, FSC paper or automated paper?
So we're currently purchasing regular paper, not FSC, for $26.25 per case. The retailer that we're planning on purchasing from now on, Spicer's Paper, is selling at $28, so it's a little bit more expensive per case.
So did you also check to see if you were to go district-wide with the paper, would they give you even a larger bulk discount because you're buying in such large volume? Would that bring it down even further than the $2 difference?
We negotiated with Office Depot asking this, but sadly they could not because we already get such a low price for the Xerox paper that we're using that they couldn't give us a lower price for FSC.
Well, what about your new vendor that you met with, Spicer?
The Spicer's Paper was offering a pretty good deal for only $2 more per case, and if we continued with implementing district-wide, we would talk to them and see how it would go, but hopefully, because we've talked to Ms. Dunlop and she said that SR was also on board, so we're like, hopefully can get all the schools to switch.
Did you guys quantify the cost on an annual basis to TL, and if it was rolled out to district-wide, how much additional cost that would be by switching from regular paper to FSC?
So the annual cost for switching to FSC paper for TL would be $1,200 more per year. And we met with Mr. Sully about this, and he said it would be most likely that the district would be able to absorb that price difference, which is really good in their annual rebudgeting. And we're currently, as one of our next steps in the process, negotiating about getting the paper district-wide, but we haven't found any statistics on that yet. Yes?
Do you guys have any additional thoughts on how you can get the community more involved in this? Because it sounds like a worthwhile project.
Just to speak to that, if a business is a certified green business, they will have some education around this. So a lot of businesses that are practicing green practices do use FSC products. And yeah.
Those who are not using it, if they can come on board.
Yeah, we would love everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes?
Have you guys done any studies on the production side of the equation, clear cutting versus FSC? paper generates, the product actually generates, if you haven't looked at that at all?
So the FSC certification actually has 10 main steps, and there are quite a few of them. Axel touched earlier on the use of chemicals, and I brought up the fact that they also take into account social impact. So the FSC certification is not only the most restrictive on the side of biodiversity, but it tries to take in equity and other factors as well to be as sustainable as possible.
Just one more suggestion, like if you can contact the FSC product manufacturers and see if you can get some grants to make it more known among the local businesses, I think that would be an area to go as well.
Yeah, so we're actually going to do that. We're going to contact the manufacturer for Spices paper. Yeah, we're going to contact them and try to get help us with our journey and stuff like that. So that's good.
And we also emailed FSC and World Wildlife Fund to educate them on what we're doing at TL, and hopefully they'll respond. All right, thank you. Come on, guys, we have to make a song to promote FSC paper.
I don't want to do this. This is pointless.
But I don't know if it'll be good enough.
Oh yeah, I tried working on that, but then I got bored and stopped.
You guys, this negativity isn't going to get us anywhere. I believe this is our project. During this project, it was important to keep a positive mindset, especially when challenges were thrown at us. When I called TL's Office Depot representative to educate her about FSC at TL, she rejected our idea. Our group had worked so hard, only to be told no. After this phone call, I was devastated. Then I realized that being negative wasn't going to accomplish anything. By staying positive, I was able to maintain a clear mind and brainstorm new ideas to achieve success.
For the duration of this project, I feel that I have shied away from contributing my ideas to the group. I recently started recognizing this problem and tried to address it as soon as I acknowledged it. I learned that when I spoke up, I was not shut down as I feared. Instead, my group mates welcomed me to share. I now understand the importance of always vocalizing ideas and not being afraid to speak up.
Going into this project, I was uncomfortable talking to teachers and business professionals. A major aspect of this project was when my group went to each of the teachers at TL to ask them to put up posters in their classrooms. This task was daunting to me at first, but as I got more practice, I became more confident when speaking with both professional adults and my peers. My lead project this year really pushed me out of my comfort zone and helped me to become more confident overall.
I learned the importance of determination. When we began, I thought that getting FSC paper at Terralinda would be a simple, linear process. As the project progressed and the challenges and setbacks of project management appeared, I began to realize the importance of dedication. It was our constant dedication to introducing FSC paper to Terralinda that kept our project on track. This project made me appreciate perseverance as a vital leadership quality.
As our project progressed, I learned that I need to be more enthusiastic. In the beginning of our project, I only did enough to pass by. Where I was unenthusiastic, I had no motive. As the project progressed, I realized that if I'm more enthusiastic, I will be able to create a better environment for myself as well as everyone else. Once I made the change, I realized that I started to become more involved and finally enjoyed what we were doing.
Wow, these reflections sure have helped. I feel like I'm ready to write them.
Yeah, let's do it! Too much paper, not enough trees. There's an option called FSC. Break loose from the chains. Conservation takes some brains. Call Axel and Charlotte, Jocelyn and Deanne. Call Ben and Lucia. School paper plan. MSEL paper.